Now, I do want to be fair here. CNN did give some airtime to the Libertarian presidential candidate Gary Johnson today. CNN anchor Ashley Banfield started off by calling the four candidates that were featured in the third-party debate also Rands, and the conversation continued.
To challenge our plutocracy, our government that is run by and for the benefit of monstrous corporations rather than in the interest of the people of this country.
So that was Rocky Anderson running for the president of the Justice Party.
Wait a minute, stop the tape, stop the tape. We have to stop for a second right there. Let's take a look at the bottom of that screen. It actually said, if you looked at it, that the Tuesday. But that detail aside, let's continue.
Do you think that you could beat Governor Romney or President Obama and become president of the United States? Are you this campaign's spoiler, meaning you could cost these states going to Mitt Romney? Yes, you're the fiscal conservative, but legalizing marijuana is clearly not a conservative campaign platform. Does that mean that you're more of an equal opportunity spoiler?
Well, nothing like calling a presidential candidate a spoiler, not once but twice, right? So changing the political discourse in this country might be a little bit harder than we think. That interview being one example. So to talk more about the third-party politics as well as the state of the race today, RT's own Liz Wall joins me in studio. Liz, nice color there.
But likewise.
All right, so let's get started. What's different about this debate? We're going to be talking about foreign policy in the upcoming one. What can we expect?
Well, we can expect a debate very different from the debate that we've seen between President Obama and Governor Romney, and it's going to be even different from the first time around of the third candidate debate. Now it is down to the winners of the last debate, so that is the Green Party candidate, Jill Stein, and the Libertarian candidate, Gary Johnson. So, and the focus is on foreign policy. But the foreign policy is going to be an expanded dialogue, one that is different from the foreign policy debates that we've seen in the main debates. They're going to be focusing on things that we don't typically hear talked about in the mainstream. We're talking about things like the war on drugs, campaign finance, NDAA, the drone campaign, all of these things that aren't brought up. They were brought up the first time, and now the two winners are going to have more time to discuss them even more in depth. So looking forward to it.
And Liz, you've been covering this. You were, I know, on the desk on Tuesday night, being a part of that coverage. What has the response been so far of the third-party debate?
Well, so far the response has been great. We know that tens of thousands of people all over the world did tune in. It wasn't aired on the mainstream networks. We aired it here on RT. And the response was great. I know that it was trending on Twitter. So people, even though it wasn't on the mainstream channels, people were taking to social media to get their voices out and to react and to respond to the debate. It was trending on Twitter. And even I saw, responding to me and responding to RT saying, thank you so much for covering this. It's really refreshing to hear these new voices, something different outside of, the dialogue that we've seen, Republican versus Democrat, these other issues and some fresh ideas.
And Liz, I know that a lot of people right now, the main thing that they're concerned about is the economy, about what's going on back home. I mean, President Obama, Mitt Romney, both of them are saying it's time to rebuild the U.S. So it's hard to get people to pay attention to foreign policy debates between these two very popular people. How are these people, these third-party candidates, going to get Americans to pay attention to what they think should happen on the foreign policy stance?
Well, I mean, that's true. The economy is supposed to be the number one issue in this debate, but foreign policy is also very important. And so I think that as we've seen, the people that do tend to tune into these debates are concerned about foreign policy, are concerned about things like the drone campaign and the drug war, because a lot of these foreign policies have repercussions for our own country in terms of spending, in terms of the way that Americans are perceived throughout the world. And these are issues that people do care about.
I think that's a really good point, that the military spending is just eating up the economy. So not to focus on foreign policy issues is not to focus on the economy itself.
It's important, definitely.
RT correspondent Liz Wall, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.